Alright. I think it's about time to start the game. We got the things here, got our creatures here. And today we're going to be resuming... Let's see, that's about good for volume-wise. Necropolis. So here is our cool video game stuff, eventually. Take your time, Godot. There we are. Also, I need this to be... I need to make room for the dogs down here. I don't know what I'm gonna do once I like run out of dogs to... Like, eventually I'm gonna get... Oh wait, hang on. Banish the dogs temporarily. They return. Basically, I'm gonna keep here until this is done, and this is done. Then I guess we do birds. And then ghosts and goblins and all those creatures, and then deer. Yeah, we're almost done with the creatures. And then I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself after that. But okay, let's revisit this area so that I, like, remember what the actual level design is like. Because I'm hoping that I'll have something ready for playtests on Saturday. Though that'll not be, like, over online. Well, actually, I guess it could be through the Discord or something like that. That could be fun. Hang on. I need to, like... Why is my... Oh, the controller just isn't working. Hang on. There we go. Let's do a new game. Oh, so I feel like the spatial audio is flipped, but okay. Oh, there we are. Okay, so everything is like in work in progress, but basically the main gimmick is there's these little platforms that have like timed activation and deactivation. And eventually they'll have the wires all drawn out and it'll be all pretty and stuff. And so obviously the main thing to do is to have these sorts of like races between you and the signals to properly time things. And then here I'm imagining like just a little bit of like non-linearity, like side areas. So we could figure out things like little secrets, little extras, little bits and pieces. And that should get the player thinking about the fact that they can't get into there. And then a little thing to teach them about falling platforms. And here is the more complicated puzzle, or like a more like intense race. Well, actually, now that I think about it, I probably want like another timer first. Yeah. I think basically what I learned from Portal was basically that there's a very you can go slow, basically. Or like there's a lot of good to like repeating the same challenge or like small variations on the same challenge multiple times to figure out like what assumptions are wrong. But I guess what I could do is I could keep this as it is and then use playtesting to actually figure out what assumptions people are making, you know, instead of like trying to guess. But hang on, I need to make that a little bit quieter. Oh wait, oh wait, no, the capture is working. It just looks weird in the Twitch preview. Okay. But okay, so we went past these dastardly doors. And now we see this one, which opens way too quickly, or opens and closes way too quickly for us. And then we come over here, and we see this machine. And that should hopefully there'll just be some moving object to clearly indicate to the player what is happening. Which is that, that. Basically, time slows down. And then there's just a regular door on this side. And also these blue fields that'll be sort of like, I'm calling them regulation fields. Because basically, as you use them, they regulate the time, basically. And actually, now that I think about it, maybe I don't even need the temperature system. Because originally, the incentive to not just have time frozen indefinitely was that like you would freeze to death. But I don't really need that if I just like have these fields in places where the player would like be able to like would need them. And here we're teaching more about the fans. Like the fact that when you use the machine, you can go through the fans. And then you get the time gun. And now, we have, this is like the golden path here. And so eventually I need to contextualize this stuff as like a narrative. You know, like what is actually happening when the player is doing this? Or like, where are they actually going? But oh well. I think, yeah, part of the incentive for this week will be making it ready for playtesting. And now we can see combining these two things. Beautiful. Oh wait, I can just do... Oh, and pretty soon I need to fix the bug where, like, if you jump on it too often, it, like, does its up the wrong thing, or whatever. Also, do I like how, like, fast this recharges? I guess I don't mind it. Because I don't really want the player to have to wait. It's more that I don't want them to just accidentally leave it on indefinitely. But okay. Now we've come into the area where it gets a bit more complicated because I want to sort of probably do non-linear areas. But okay. So, like, first of all, I want this. Oh. Because I think what I'd actually do... Maybe this. To obscure this entrance, which I think, for the purposes of, like, making that, like, the last thing the player does, maybe? I don't know. The main reason I'm doing this is because I want a bridge here. Because if we go to test world, we can just go to this thing. There we are. Oh, wait. There we go. And let's have all of these be locked like that. Okay. And so what my goal here is to basically teach the player, I guess, about these collapsing platforms. Or I guess actually what I could do is have these platforms not collapse until later. Because I said basically that one of the gimmicks that I want in the area and all of these levels is that when you remove the, like, power source, they get all fucked up. And so basically, yeah, I'll do that, actually. Let's have, like... Does this have a script? This would have a script. Export bool var active float. Oh no. Equals true. So they'll be active by default. If not active, or do I want this to always activate? I think what I could do... Well, I'm not sure. Let's see how this feels. Basically now, it should just, okay, it doesn't do anything noticeable. So now, it should just be a normal bridge. Actually, also, I think what I'm going to do is compress these a little bit. So we're going to have these be like a totally, actually, I have a good idea. We're going to do... What's the width of these things? I thought it was... Okay, 4. It's just that we're... Let's do settings, grid. Isn't there like a grid setting? Configure snap. Let's do like 0.5 meter. There we go. I knew these were like some like constant like meter width. What if I have it like this? I'm trying to figure out, like, what exactly do I want for these platforms? Yeah, because I think I'd like it to be here directly. I don't... Well, no, I should care. I have to care, actually. Now that I think about this. Oh, and I gotta move all this stuff, actually. Okay, put this in the center. That seems good. Get this thing. Make it a bridge between these 2 points. See, now we have like a logical relationship between these 2 locations. And then I think, for the purpose of sightlines, it would be confusing... Oh wait, no, that's gonna fuck up this door. Which admittedly I should have thought about, but oh well. Actually, I can think about it right now. By putting this, and this, and this, as a child of this. So this is like test 1. Ooh, a test of the player's skills. The creatures need snacks. But yeah, I don't know what our stream enrichment is going to be once the creatures are all dead. Oh wait. Oh right. I forgot to actually like not have it active. Okay, so now they go up. Actually, does that... Okay. So yeah, they don't like reset visually. Because I was worried the animation like played. Oh, wait, I keep forgetting how this actually... Wait. Oh, I see. Because this tweens. Or because it plays an animation. It does that. Okay. I'll have to figure out that as well. Wow, the frame rate died there. And also, I couldn't jump on that platform. Then we have beautiful platforms, which are kind of annoying to walk on. How do I deal with that? I guess I would just actually, like, compress them a little bit to... Well, no, but then they're gonna fuck up... That's gonna fuck up the physics. If they're, like, all, like, compressed into each other to make, like, a seamless walkway. I think maybe I just need, like, different platforms for these collapsing bridges. But okay. Let's think through what are the challenges that I've already established for the player. So, like, the very simplest one is just open the door. I can hear, like, rumbling from when I type. I think it's the, like, shock waves of the, of it going into the, mic stand. That's annoying. Oh well. 0, 1 is basically just a repeat of 0, because it's basically just open the door, but now you have to race. So 0, 0, but you race the deactivation. And that gets you into here. 0, 2, the fan. Side tangent, a crawler. Show the player combat. Then you get up here. And then I guess 3 would be falling platforms. Side tangent, inaccessible area. Yeah, I definitely hear... Hang on. Okay, it doesn't really come up on the mic, or the stream audio. But yeah, I'm definitely picking up a lot of the rumbling from the keyboard. Maybe I just need to type later, but I will. And then I'd say 04 double doors. So this is like, what, double doors? Maybe to time, or fiddly? And then we get, I'd say, well, not really, like, it's not really going to be a split in the road. It's more just going to be, there's that way, which is obviously not going to be the way because it's just going to have a simple end. And then there's going to be this way, which is actually the way to continue. This is 05. Actually, I think maybe this could be the first time. No, I shouldn't mix those two early. Basically, I was going to say falling platforms and the racing the thing. But I think it's just going to be 01, but slow down time. Side tangent 05, but faster. So things that I'm noticing, I don't use the falling platforms with the racing very much. And I have not used the falling platforms with the fans yet. That's an interesting one. And so I'm thinking what I could do is I could have one of those areas that's locked until you get a key. Actually, that'd be good. A tablet receptacle type thing. What are they called? I guess it is just a tablet receptacle. Hang on, this needs to be tablet. Okay. So what key does this need? This needs probably like key time. And then I don't know if I want it to be that... I know what I could... An interesting idea would be to have it so that once you go through one area, it's like a one-way loop. And then you come back down the other way. The to-do list today is basically to get a like general layout for this level I'm working on. So I'm going through basically figuring out all the little gimmicks that I'm doing right now. In fact, let's go to basically I've mapped out or like enumerated all the challenges up to this point. So you have to slow down time with a machine here and then hop up these platforms before the door closes. And then we save. And then I'm going to skip this album. I don't remember adding it. And also, it's actually just genuinely kind of hard to see where things are. Wait, actually, where's the ground here? Oh, okay, we got plenty of space. Though this does need to be a little bit more contained in this direction. There we are. Man, I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit more even, because it's too much for me. Okay. But we're here. We have a fan. This isn't really even a puzzle, it's just a way to get up here, like, remind the player the fan exists. So 7 is O2, like O1 and O2. Because basically you just have to press the button to open the door and then use the fans to get in there. And then, at long last, you can use the fans to get into this area. So, this is what? O5 and O2. Down time to get past the fan, get the time gun. I guess this is a novel interaction. Yeah, that'd be a good idea, to have more emissive materials. Because there's a lot of because these things actually have a subtle emission, but I could do more with them. I wonder if they'd affect the reflection probes. I think they do, but they don't affect the ambient light on reflection probes is fucked up. Because I'm trying to think as well of, like, how would it look with the lighting. But I guess I could just fake it as well. Do I need anything? Let's go to... well, yeah. Actually, I have a good idea. Project, writing, notes, portal and intro and Necropolis. We have a thing here of, like, puzzles. Because, yeah, now basically we do this, then we go do our big drop, and then this is actually puzzle 10, which is just, or I guess these aren't really puzzles, but they're just little challenges. This is just O3, but slow down time. So what I'm seeing is we should probably have more falling platforms, like a falling platform with the time slow, or no, a falling platform with the racing would be good. Probably like right before we get the thing, so I'll say that. To do, so like good here, double or like O1 with falling platforms. Oh. Yeah, I guess it's because most objects aren't really reflective. There's also the ambient contribution, though, which I wish worked, Because basically, I think what it's supposed to do is make non-reflective objects also take a bit of the color from the reflection probe. But what it does is it actually just completely fucks up everything. But I think it would do what I want. If it, yeah, just, I don't even know how you get Z fighting in a shader. Like, I don't even understand what that effect is. Because it's like, I've seen, like, this just gets sent to the shader as a parameter to blend one value. I don't know how it, like, fucks it up that much. Let's make it like this. There we go. And then we have actually, actually, now I'm realizing this is the first time we need to have a platform created with the switches. So, like, this is basically like 0, 0, 1, or like, you stand on a platform. So, like, should I, let's say, like, also here. A 3 and a 1 earlier. And then also, should I introduce the doors as platforms earlier? But okay, because we got a various distinct challenges. Okay, weird thing, the rumbling from my keyboard is really bothering me. Hang on, I'm going to reposition my microphone and see if that fixes it. Not really. But I guess maybe this'll make it a little better. I don't know. Hang on. I'm going to move this again. Okay, distinct challenges. So like 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. 06. No, not really. The idea of turning off indoor gives them nicer blending sometimes. Yeah. The main thing is I don't want too much of the outdoor light affecting them, since there's a day-night cycle, so it'd be really hard to control, like, the interiors. So let's see, these are like distinct interactions. How do, like, markdown tables work? I don't care. I don't want to deal with it. Because I'm thinking what I want now is probably a fan from the back. So let's just get this and put it like probably after stuff, after our cool zone. Actually, I know an interesting idea. We have a fan that's going up, and the only way we can get in is at a spatial. So this is going to be like, I guess just like C12. I know that now I've basically just started an entirely new like naming convention for these little rooms. Hang on, I'm going to move this down again. I don't think I solved the rumbling. I don't know why it's only suddenly now bothering me. Like, I don't know what changed. Like, did I... Ah, well. Let's do a CSG cylinder. This will be the first time that I actually have, like, the proper, like, shapes to enclose the things. Okay, so that should tell the player that, like, there's a thing there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a similar thing. And also, I'm still really thinking the ideal workflow here is if I'm able to, like, figure out, like, hot reloading meshes in Blender. That'd be awesome. So let's move this up. And this will also just have, like, a subtraction. Because I'm just going to make a little floor here. See, to make some of them flicker on and off. Yeah. That'd be fun. That'd give it a lot more life to it. Because you could even have it be on a texture so that, like, it warbles over space and time. I'm thinking here, what I'm going to do is, so this one's going to be, like, 10 and, like, 8. And then our trick is going to be that you have to go up through 2 of them. And that means we should have this one have, like, a Omnilight. And then let's do another one of these. And then that'll put you out here doing something. So basically, this is just a more advanced version of selectively, like, using and not using the time gun. Oh, hang on. There we go. I wonder if the player will notice. What? Oh, I see. I need to redo the bounding boxes. Junk bounds. And then close that, because that's going to take up a bunch of RAM, because it has every single chunk loaded. Oh, there we go. Also died again, or, there we go. Did it... Why didn't it work? Why did it not work? Hang on. Go back to the test world, or, world.tscn. Take your time, Godot. Then we go to here, then we do Shift Control X. Is this gonna work? Okay, invalid get in. Okay, that's the issue. We don't even need this anymore. That rumbling is like... There we go. Okay. Now this should work, because now it has the... It doesn't have the things that it needs. Why doesn't it have the things that it needs? Where's the necropolis? Is it like... This isn't the bounds that fully encompass it anymore. I guess close everything. Okay, why is it not loading the things? n._preview is... Let's print previewing get path. Scale the object with the transform parameters and then scale it back to the in the shader itself. Ah, interesting. Yeah, so that way there's like, you could scale it up a little bit in a script or something and then scale it down. Okay. I'm going to go to, where am I going to go to? Oh yeah, the get chunk bounds again. Try this again. Okay, so the necropolis is being previewed here. It says that it's being previewed. Is preview just not like here? Else like print no chunk data. And let's just do name here. Oh, wrong one. So the necropolis should have things here. It just doesn't have them, though. Actually, is there something wrong with all of these? No. The rest of them seem to be working correctly. Oh, I bet you I know what the issue is, which is that this is all under active entities. Okay. That's the problem. I guess I could just move some of this stuff to not be under active entities, like, I don't know, move the cool zone. Admittedly, I don't like how this is being done. But I think this is kind of just necessary for the moment, because of the way that I've just not configured this correctly. But the reason I only have the, like, well, okay, it didn't work. So, like, can we do n.setActive as well? True. So let's undo what we did here. Put back our beautiful stuff. Okay, invalid get index NBCs by chunk on base node global. Okay. Also, the creatures need food, I think. Also, have I, like, achievement hunted them out? No. We need more llamas, we need more foxes, so let's do that as well. And get another fox. There we go. There we go. Now the only issue is that it runs, like, at, you know, it runs terribly here, but that's actually a price that I'm willing to pay. And I think the main thing is that this chunk active thing. Chunk content. Set active. So let's do, like, if editor hint. So if not engine.editor hint. There we are. And that way, okay, so now I actually am getting the bounding box appropriately. It's just that the game will run pretty slowly, and it'll only get worse as time goes on. Where basically it has to load all of the chunks and all of the active entities in the chunks, because, like, for some objects like this one, it really does only need, like, all of its geometry when you're right next to it, because it's indoors, basically. Oh. Oh, wait, okay. I completely forgot what I was actually doing. There we are. So now I should be able to walk up to it, and it doesn't disappear. Look at that. Beautiful. I've thought about having a typewriter effect. I think I might do that at some point. But it'd be very quick. Basically just to make sure the player knows what dialogue's been added. Oh, I know what I can do. Just make this, like, doable. This is meant to be, like, an easy area. But yeah, I also need to add sound effects for the dialogue. What do I actually want for this? I think I want to like let the player like kill themselves if they're not careful. So just to like impart more velocity. There we go. And then we come out here, and then there should be something out here. And probably a more advanced puzzle this way. I don't know what the puzzle would be, but it would be something. Because we'll just have this come out with like a fan or something. Actually, I'll keep that. Or I'll do like a light gray. And then this will just spill out into like this. So now we have like 12, which is going to be more complex. What is it, 11 or 10? No, it wouldn't be. It'd be 08. Okay. So what do we actually get up here? Like, what is our mission? What if we have a thing where you have to go both directions, but you can see what one does that the other doesn't. So basically, like, you have to go like here, and then you have to like loop back down. Well, there should be some quick way of looping back down. Yeah. Yeah, the dialogue uses the rich text. Because, yeah, there's just the animation that you can do, since it has the, like, percent of text visible. Or, like, the number of characters visible. So basically what I do is just, like, tween it with the new one. Let's close this. So I'm thinking here, get this. I know what I want. I'm gonna get a pair of these. This will be like our looping zone. Actually, I just had a good idea. Have two of these. Oh wait, no. Not two of those. Two of these. And then there'll just be some way of going back down through here, one way or the other. So this one, okay, so we'll basically just swap these two keyframes. Transform. Oh wait, we don't need that. We need this. Translation, translation, and it'd be faster to just delete this and do it again. And I think the way these will work is that it will actually be a permanent toggle, or... Oh yeah, I can just do that with a D switch, actually. So this will be like door 1, door 2, then we got our switch 1 and switch 2. So toggled goes all the way to door 1, toggled. Oh wait, hang on, we need to do this one. There we go. Not toggled. Okay. And these should be persistent as well, I think. Yeah, these doors will be permanently opened. And then let's make sure that I understand what I'm doing here by having it like this, so that way it's like, now it's impassable. There's no way for the player to figure out that they can go through. You know, they must engage with the video game properly now. Wait, and this is going to go into loop zone. Nope. Oh, I see, because I pressed F6. Wait, hang on, does save and quit save my position like that? Or maybe it's just because I, like, well. There we go. So now we have a lovely door that can be closed and opened at will. And also, I just realized you can shoot the door closed and then soft lock yourself. Let's just flip those doors around. Or flip that switch around, so that way you can't do that. And then okay, and this one would work the appropriate way already. But okay, my basic thinking is, you know, you open the door, and then you're like, okay, so there's a thing that's going to be, I just realized that it doesn't do what I think it's going to do. It would just open up 2 channels. I need, What I actually wanted was for 2 doors like this. with a wall between them. What do I want here? Okay, I see. I think. I still need... This was correct. But then I also need 2 doors that go this way. And this will be the area that actually, like, activates these 2 switches. I don't know what exactly would be behind this room that's so important that it, like, has, you know, 1 vent here, but, you know, I can eventually figure out, like, a more, like, thematically appropriate way of organizing this. But okay. Basically, this is now, like, I door. And then we'd have, like, I door 2 or something. And so the whole thing with this will be on toggled. And then here. On toggled. Okay. Let's save and quit and then restart. And the player will hopefully be able to determine and see with their eyes that, you know, they're opening 2 doors. And then they have to open that door to get into here further. Is where the science thing is, maybe? I guess maybe not. Yeah, I guess I'm fine if this is where, like, the player can leave for, the science thing. But then they're like, well, how do I get out of here? What if this door here shuts down when the... I think this might be where the capacitor is, actually. And then we just have... Yeah, I think that'd be fine. It wouldn't be, like, the important thing, though. It'd be, like, a side thing. Because the capacitors are meant to be, like... They're meant to feel like some sort of incidental thing. Or, like, you know, they're not an important part of the culture of this group. They're just, like, a thing that's needed to make the machines run. Okay, so doesn't this thing have, like, if it gets lights? Oh, wait, doesn't it have this with, Oh, I see what I can do. Add an omni-light here. Like this. Why is the blue bar wrong? Like, what did I do? Like, what did I do? What the fuck did I do? How did I do this? Whatever. I'm only a little mad. Okay, then we hide... Oh, wait, no. We don't have that, we have this. There we go. So now when the capacitor is active, that light is really bright. Otherwise, it's not. And actually, we need all of our lights. Well, no, these two are fine there. So I'm thinking I probably want this to be much more of like a final confrontation. Let's actually do that. Let's go back to the loop zone. I think this whole thing is going to be its own little world. What if we have this actually as like a, I just had an interesting idea. So we have power thing and we have loop zone. We have this down here, making it clear where the doors are. And then this thing, this whole thing. Door. Will be like this. And we will not have this here, maybe. Well, I guess maybe we might. Yeah. We're going to make it clear. And beautiful. There we are. Let's do like that. So this will be our like stairs up. Okay, and this should be in the bounding box still. Yeah, this will make it relatively obvious that like this is an important place. I don't know what the like reward will be that was like intended to be. You know, like what is the significance of this room in the like lore? But the significance for us is that it has a capacitor in the side closet. And that like shuts down the power. So is there a quest with water? Yeah, I have a few ideas for water. The main one is one of these like old facilities will specifically be like a giant reservoir, but because it hasn't been used in thousands of years, the water's like stagnant and like its own ecosystem basically of like molds and mosses and things. Now I need to figure out how these doors are actually going to work. Hi, welcome. Let's see. I'm making levels. Now we have a cool doorway, and eventually they'll even be like walls so you can't get around the doors. And this will be like a cool new looping level structure. So we have a little platforming challenge that gets us up to here. And now the question on everybody's mind is, what do we do once we're up here to get to like either here or here? Because basically we have a very cool advanced non-linear level where we have to do 2 levels, but we get to choose which order we do them in. We're like 2 little puzzles, basically, to unlock both of these doors. But okay, what are the challenges that we have? We have opening the door, so we race to the destination. Well, I mean, I guess this isn't like this is the actual challenge. This just introduces the like concept of doors to the player. We have fans. We have falling platforms, slowing down time to get to the fan, and then combat. So I think what I would want to do is I would want to make it so the player has to combination of 09, 01, and combat. So what exactly would that look like? Basically, the player would have to push a button to get around a thing, to open a door. Yeah. So what is the... Hang on, isn't there... Double doors are kind of a different thing. Actually, I'll say 11 is a unique thing. So what I think I'd like to do is maybe even introduce a new type of signal where it has like a marker at a particular point. Okay, let's add one of our buttons. One of my patented, like, stand on a thing to get a thing button. And this will go into C12. Let's make it C13. Well, I guess this is actually... This will be considered part of that. So, like, part 2. So, like, loop part 1. Combination of 9, 1, and combat. The music's completely fucking me up. Hang on. Okay. So, I guess I should just start with a very basic, what do I want? I think I'd like a platform the player has to get to, and they have to use a fan to get up to it. Ah. But it perhaps goes too quickly, so they have to be selective about, like, the time stuff. Okay, let's start with that simple idea. Grab a door. Plop it into C12. Where's our button? This will be like door 1, button 1. Okay. Now we get the wire. We remove this because we're going to go to this door. No, the door that's next to us. This one. And then I don't think I need combat here. We could have combat though. I mean, I could just put like a death knot here. And he'd just be like, I'm gonna shoot you now. But also he needs his custom awareness. Okay. Because he's not gonna like he's not gonna see us through the walls or anything. He's just gonna see us in like this vicinity. But okay, also we probably need to move this a bit further up, I'd say. So that way he also has like range to like shoot us. Let's call this like 1 and like 5. And then actually we could do also falling platforms in here, but that might be too much. Let's not do that right now. Let's just do like a platform square. So I'm going to switch between the two things. So that way drag and drop works. Okay. Oh wait, no, the whole thing was going to be like fans. Well, fan. Mm-hmm. Let's see. So let's do imparted velocity of 10. Or like, let's do like 15 and like 5 here. Let's see how this feels. Yeah, and also I need to remember the fans can be controlled by switches as well. Well, I guess now it's redundant because there's the time stop. But yeah, because there is one area already where you have to like go past a fan in order to like get a collectible. Oh, wait, does this actually go anywhere? Oh yeah, this is the place that I'm going. Let's see. Once the geometry is like not so horrible, it'll probably be a bit better to navigate this. Ah well. I'll have to figure that out. Well, I will have to figure that out this week before I do other things, because I think in playtesting, it's very hard for people to, or it's very easy for people to get distracted by other technical issues than the things you're directly testing. Okay. Keep that there for now. This is a bit too much, actually. I think it's because it's too high. I don't like having to look so high up in the air. So let's move it, like, down, and so it's more horizontal. But with still, like, plenty of, like, movement that you have to figure out how to do. And I think for this one, it's going to be, like, 10 meters a second. Where is... Oh, you're right there. Wait, hang on. Is there, like... I don't like how it doesn't immediately transition back into... Hang on. What state are we in when we do that? Well, I mean... I guess it's okay. But okay. The thing is, it goes up there. And then we need to start mixing in as much time stop as we can, but the fans make it so that you like need to unstop time to like get up to things. So this might be... Oh, I just... Oh, hang on. Let's put a fountain as well. Uh, I'm realizing, though, this is probably too many things at once. Because this is like 3 things that haven't been introduced in concert. Well, I know what to do. Just remove this guy. Oh. Hopefully this thing, like, works consistently, though. let's make the effective range larger. Let's make the effective velocity larger. And let's do that again. Let's see. There we go. Okay. It's not too complicated. It is tricky, though. And I think the main thing will be making sure the player can actually see the wire as it's going. Why is it... Hang on. Did I just not, like, activate the checkpoint? Oh, because it's on the other side of this. Yes, of course. So I did not see this. And actually, what if I moved this to the other side? I don't care. Let's give our creatures food, though. Now let's think about how I want the like structure of the floor here. Because I just realized also, you can just like almost grab that. So it'd be easy for the player to not realize what they're supposed to do. But okay, put this up a little higher. Like a little bit like that. Get this. Move it there. Could be mostly similar. Oh. Okay, let's see how little time stop I need here. Like if I don't use it at all. Oh, I can just... Oh wait, no, it's because I broke it. Again. If I reset... Okay, that sends the deactivation signal. Good. Okay, let's see what it looks like if I don't use this at all. Okay, so it's a little... Let's make the activation time like 3, then. I want it to be just... I want it to be relatively obvious that, like, you can't make it. Okay, but not too difficult. So this will be a fine wire to cross. Okay. You'll need some more finesse than normal for that, but that should be okay. And now I'm thinking, how do I make it look elegant? Because a lot of the stuff is kind of like, it's very clunky looking, with like things at weird angles and stuff like that. So I'll have to think about like a visual design to like align all of this stuff to like a grid. All right, let's also disable this like previewing. Print. Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need this. None of this. None of that. None of that. And then isn't there a chunk marker? Is that where we do the print? Not a valid chunk, no chunk data. That's fine. Well, okay. I think now is the time to introduce enemies. So we get up here. And then maybe in here there's like a combat area. So we're now going to make this part 2 or part 3 combat. Actually, what if it was an area with falling platforms? And enemies. That could be interesting. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to try that. Basically just a falling platform. And I should remember to put save zones in all the doors. All right, so I'm thinking like this. And then we have like crawlers on this thing. Or like, well, let's start with, I know. Actually, I'd much prefer to have death nats in here. So this one should have like speed 0. I should have kept that other one so I could get this area. Custom aware. This shape. Make it only see the player in this area that we are in. So that way it won't start shooting at the player before they've actually gotten into the level. And we'll give the player a smidge of space. Actually, what if we have it further back where like we don't time the player on anything here. We just have like a longer area where the player has to like, oh, I see my problem here. Okay. Let's have this be an area. Admittedly, now it's a little less of a like a little loop. It's like a gigantic like path or like an odyssey through the entire area. And then for now, what I'm going to do, oh, that's not quite what I want. Let's just add another CSG box. This will be use collision. And this will just be like a drop to get us down back to where we should be. And actually, what if it... made it so we had to go, so we loop around like this. What if we have one of those bridges again? And these bridges are eventually going to be activated. And then they'll actually like start collapsing once the player gets the like power turned off. But okay, so this goes into loop zone. Let's make it like this. Ta-da. And for my own convenience sake, a fountain A. Because yeah, I think what I'm going to do eventually is just, oh wait, no, not like a sink. A large fountain. Big old cool fountain. Okay. So now there's actually a way to get out of here. And I wonder if I should introduce death nets earlier, or if this is fine like that. Oh yeah, let's try this again. I fucked it up. Yeah, I think there's a thing where, like, if you're not on it for, like, a sufficiently short amount of time, it just breaks. But okay. Get that going. Oh, and then that just sent me directly into this area. Those are a bit too spread apart, I think. Or at least, because the poor player, they might not know the secret of crouch jumping and then spin kicking to get some extra height and distance. So let's just say that would probably be good. And then okay, he's dead. And then we go this way, which just loops us back down to here. Activate that. A delightful stroll up to this thing to get a lever. And that is the first half of this final little area. And then I'll need, like, the back half of it, which will be, like, do a variation of this area in the dark. Probably without the regulation. I guess these things will be disabled. Actually, they might not be. Oh, actually, that's the final thing that I really need to think about, is how to make these regulation fields a hazard. Because they used to just be, because this was a machine that you toggled time to slow down, so you had to walk through these to make it resume. Or just go back to the machine, but I don't think most players will notice that. But okay, I think the one thing that I don't like is this, but I think it's mostly, now that I think about it, because I just don't like how wide, or I don't like the lip that I have here, so we just need, like, this interior needs to be, like, conformed to the pipes, or the fans, I should say, so that way there's no, like, awkward overhang the player has to climb around. Though that does make the fans a bit harder to see. But I'll think on that. I'll figure out how to deal with that. Okay, and then interior. There we go. All right, let's see. So how does the shader of the save thing work? Oh, it's just a additive blend with a normal. So if we go to the bubble, checkpoint bubble. So it's first of all an animation that just like does a thing. But yeah, so if we look at the material on this thing, it's just adds a thing, gets the color, and then gets an alpha channel, which is the Z coordinate of the normal. So that way when you're looking directly at it, it's less visible. And we're not going to save that. Why is it running at like 3 FPS now? Oh, it went exclusive full screen, I think. Maybe? Why is it like... Yep, it scales. Oh, I thought the entire computer was going to crash there, but now it's just running at like... Feels like almost 60. My goodness, it's almost 100. Well, over 100 in some places. The behavior, I think it's just, there's, admittedly, I am recording, streaming. Like, I'm streaming, recording, and have a bunch of shit on the screen, and have the editor open. So I guess it makes sense that the behavior's a little, or like the performance is a bit unpredictable. But someday I'd like the game to run at a consistent 144 FPS. But it might only do that in ideal circumstances, which do not include streaming it. Oh. Oh wait, no. I don't even need to be in here. I keep coming in here for no reason. The main thing I need is to get this. Status, get dot. Why is there so much stuff that's like... Oh, I know why. I did some minor model adjustments and like animation improvements. Visual updates. And then let's add all this stuff. More level work. Okay, because what I want now is for like 13 loop part 2. What was the interaction that I said would be really interesting to figure out, that, and then I got distracted by everything else I was doing and forgot to do? That was kind of cringe. Because there was definitely a thing. I mean, I guess now we introduce death nets, which is okay. And we introduce the falling platforms, which is... This will be annoying for players. Especially since there's no checkpoint from here to here. So they'll have to do this slightly tricky jump and then do this again. Why 144 and not 120? Just because this is a 144 hertz monitor. I mean, technically it's listed as 120, but I don't know why, because it's 6 point... Like, it's... Like, the timing is 144 FPS on it. Actually, this monitor, this external monitor, can get up to 165 for some reason. But okay, what do I want for the other side? We have interactions. Part 2 is a combination of combat and... Oh, wait, no. We have a part 3 now. O3 and combat. Probably 11. That would make sense. So basically making a platform that we can stand on rather than opening a door. From that one, I think what I'd like to do is actually loop around underneath everything and then come back up over here. That could be fun. And yeah, eventually I can add like more like red herring doors so that way, because these weird like roundabout routes I like to think of as like the player is just going through like the ventilation system or like side paths and things like that because the doors are closed. But okay, that's enough of that. We need now to go to uh, here. CSG box, or like spatial actually. This will be C13. And we start our adventure right here. So this will be like a box. And you know what? I'd also want, it'd be useful for gameplay to have ambient noise. But okay. That's not what we need right now. We need, I think it would be interesting if you had to drop down. And you had to have a platform ready. So we could have something over here of just like this. That's not what I want. Now what do I want exactly here? So if we get this, because I'm imagining a button that goes down, and then it reveals some sort of platform, and then somehow that platform lets us do things. I mean, I guess I could just make it just go up. That wouldn't be that difficult. Or that would be like a more reasonable platforming challenge. And now that I just realized, because the wires go up, the player will be able to see where it leads to. So there's no issue of like the player not looking up and just not seeing where they're supposed to go, because they're going to see a wire, or they're going to see like a ball of energy directly in front of them. But okay, what did I even say was going to be the thing here? Okay, yeah. You have to stand on a platform. I'll have to actually review the footage and figure out what I was even like talking about earlier, because I distinctly remember having some sort of idea, but then getting distracted by the whatever I was doing, the this area. Ah well. Let's actually even put that in here. Weekly March. What day is it? What was I talking about? Review footage. March 12. 140 or so. Stream. All right. I think we might need a few different, oh, a few of these. Because I was going to make it so that like one wire could activate multiple things, but that's slightly more complicated and I don't want to deal with it. So I'll just do it this way. So that way I can have like things that are timed. Oh, it was, okay, I know what it was. It was the activation fields, or the regulation fields. Okay, and now let's make 3 doors. Oh, I had these actually exactly how I wanted them, so I didn't have to move them relative to a thing. But okay. So basically a much more complex version of that thing that I was doing before. So we're going to do boom, boom. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. And these should all be down, and these wires should also be down. And then this is number 2. And this is number 3. And so we'll also have them go from top to bottom. Door 1. That's not what I want. Actually, where are the doors here? Oh, wait. I know. They're inside. They're in the other scene still. Yeah. These 3 must come with us into here. Door 1. Door 2. Door 3. And actually, I think I'll think on how I want to do this. But for now, we then take these wires and we'll go to our, like, door 1, door 2, and door 3. Okay, so let's see what this even looks like. Oh, and because I bumped into it, it's permanently broken. Why does it always, like, freeze right there? Is it, like, specifically a problem with this? I think it must be a chunk. Also, why is it, like, so hard to jump up this thing? I know what it could be. What if the falling platforms were just a plain cylinder collider instead of having a convex collision shape? Actually, it seems like that's exactly what I could do. Shape. Cylinder shape. And then we're just going to make it exactly perfect in all regards. There we are. There we are. So let's see if this feels any different. Don't find there, though we did have, it's interesting. I think the ledge grab means that you can't recover your, like, spin kick in the air. Okay, so how do we get to this side? What is going to be our way over? I think what it could do is I could just have a wire that goes over there, opens a door as a little mini challenge. Yeah, let's do that. Though that would actually kind of beg the player to go over there first. Well, no, I think there's reasonably good incentives for both sides. This one will have a button, the other one has a bridge. And I can just test and see which one will work better. What did I just do? Hang on, where is this? Where did I put this? So this goes to room 13. And then we got this. Goes to there. And let's close that. Oh wait, is this in the right? This is in the right place, actually. Door 13. Okay, so what I envision is a very not terribly interesting challenge where you just go to the thing and then jump to it. I'm not sure exactly where you jump to it. What if you had to jump down and then use a fan to get back up? That could be interesting. Well, don't we do... yeah, I guess it's fine. I am realizing it would be better to have this on the other side, though, because basically I'm going to make a simpler version of challenge, what is it, 13? No, 12, part 2. Yes, let's get a fan in here. This will be like 12 and like 8. Okay. So now the challenge will be the player has to have some sort of a permanent like object memory. Yeah, I'll have to figure out what on earth is causing that stutter. Let's make it a little more generous. Probably like 4 seconds here. Wow, I still can't get up onto that thing when I'm like ledge grabbing and then holding forward. So I think it's just something to do with like overhangs, like ledge jumping up to them. So bugs, do we have more movement bugs? We do still. Ledge jumping up platforms while holding forward. Because it just eats the jump, and it's very strange. Okay. You have to put in some work to do that one. And then we see one of the more complicated ones. So I'm wondering, what exactly do I want with this challenge? I kind of just wanted to reuse the premise of like, you have to like get onto the platforms instead of just going to a door. Because I haven't done anything with like multiple doors like I did before. What if we had a regulation field? But what if you couldn't use the time gun inside the fields? Also, I need to fix the bug with the, let's put that in visual bugs. Visual bug when shooting the time gun fast. Animation should be a tween, I guess. I should smoothly interpolate between the properties instead of, you know, starting an animation from the beginning. I'm just like Man, imagine if there's actually gonna, imagine if there was actually content out there. That'd be like a cool advertisement for the video game. But there's not. It's just empty landscape. Okay. So I think the vision is you shoot this. You go. You're able to like get onto a thing because it's at the bottom there. Let's move this so that I can actually see everything. So we'll start from about here. And then where should we go? I mean, I guess I could just start having puzzles that use the fans more so that you have to selectively enable and disable things. Because that is like more active and interesting. You know what? Let's do that. You have to get on the fan. And this one is also, well, actually, if we had the fan here, we don't need this here. We can still have this up here. Oh, and I need to remember this also is going to be moved out more. So it's going to be like here. Because eventually this is going to be like, let's even have it like that for now. Just so that I can like see what I'm doing. So we go to the fan, go here. How does this feel? What is this right now? I think we're going to need the time to be much longer, but otherwise this should be fine. Oh. So I can do it. It's just probably not like a very good platforming challenge, because I think it should just be like one side the other side. So that way it's like reminding the, you know, a little less like try to figure out how to get directly above yourself and more like do the video game in a normal way. Like do some platforming that's like approachable and reasonable. And then let's make this one like 3.5, or let's do like 3.3, because this one's going to be 3.15. Kind of splitting hairs there, but the time stop does make everything like a quarter the speed. So that's like 0.6 seconds. Oh. Oh, right, because wait, why is that? Oh, okay, I see. I see, I see. I grabbed the platforms instead of the doors because I hate myself. And I did not properly put them in the correct place. Ah, well. It didn't, like, hurt me or anything. And I think what I really, really want before I start modeling is the ability to hot reload models while playing. That's going to be super difficult to set up, though, because of the way that Godot is, like, designed. Like, there's, like, a separate, like, resource pipeline and stuff. And also, I think... Let's go to, gun.gd. So I have so much, like, complicated crap here. And I think what I really need is, none of it. Well, no, I think this is correct. Roll. We just need the time gun. Or like weapon to have like, no, this isn't right. This is right. So locks on equals true. So let's do like var fire anywhere equals false by default, because only the time gun needs to be able to fire like any time. True. And then we go back to gun and then like locked. Fire. So if state is state.hidden, we do that. If current weapon dot this. So where does this come from? Because why is it, oh, can fire. So if not current weapon, return current weapon dot fire, or return okay. Because now time gun can fire anywhere. And I forgot that the other gun, the time gun or wave shot, can also fire anywhere. So I already had this in place, but now I can do whatever I want. Okay. So now all we have to do, get up these 3 platforms. Not terribly complicated, but it's a bit of platforming. And then that's like the first challenge of the area, because we're gonna loop. Oh yeah, I forgot I was gonna intend to loop the other way, but I guess I could still. Yeah, let's do that. Basically, I imagine both of these kind of looping sort of clockwise. Are they looping clockwise? Well, this one goes the opposite way, really. It goes around this way. So this one going around like this could be interesting, actually. Yeah, I think I'll keep going this way. Basically, it'll go like this, and it'll loop around this way, and then drop down here. So let's start with that. Oh. And do I want any sort of like extra, do I want another one of these paths maybe? I guess that could be good. I'll do that. Rotation. So for this one, because the nice part about these is that eventually they start falling. Or once I've set that up, they'll start falling. I probably won't be able to start playtesting this week, I'm thinking. Because I'll need to put walls between everything, and I'll need to put a bit more visual indication as to like what is actually happening. I guess it won't be too hard, but it'll probably be next week then. Because I'm thinking, because I go to a game dev meetup on Saturdays, so that'd be a good time to get feedback on the game. But okay. instead of that, we're going to do this. So this will be how we get to here. And I think it could be interesting to constantly go up and down. Like, what if we then, like, dropped down to here? What do I actually want with that, though? I guess we could do one of the combat arenas. I forget how those work. So, like, enemy group, I think is what they are. Yeah, I guess that could be good. Let's do one of those. CSG cylinder. I'm also trying to think of, like, what is the arena that we'll have? So part 1, more complex 11. So part 2, big ol' combat arena. Not even, like, there will not even be the slightest bit of puzzling or platforming. And I think essentially you'll just jump down into a room that has enemies in it. And then, like, the doors won't open until you clear the enemies. Well, actually, I would need to have... I know. This optional path will have an enemy group. So I guess we can just put it here. And then, like, when this thing has... Wait, doesn't this enemy group... Enemies killed and spawn without enemies. Okay. And don't we have... I guess that's fine. We're just going to have a door now. Actually, let's do platform. So I'm basically going to introduce the simplest concept of the... So this is going to be like enemy zone. Our beautiful square platform. And Omni light. And then an animation player. And this is kills. Oh wait, let's put an animation on this. Or door.gd. Says on toggled or activated. There we are. And then on activated instant. This will have that true connect. There we go. And this enemy will be persistent. Well, yeah, I guess it's fine. It'll be a particularly dastardly enemy. And a distance visible. Because basically I'm imagining new activates. This will start at a reddish violet color, I'm thinking. Very scary guy. And then it'll go to a serene greenish blue, and our door shall open. And we'll have like a... Hang on, let's change the type of this to just a spatial. So this way there's an optional area that will teach the player the beauties of murder and violence. That you are rewarded for hurting others, as long as I deem them to be your enemies. All right. Let's do a subtraction action. And then we'll have a bug right in here. So we might want to have more of these combat areas then to help introduce the player to the fact that, like, anytime there's a red light, they should be thinking, okay, I need to fight now. In fact, I could do that for like here. We could have an optional, or I just realized, have a door here so that way you can't get out. No, actually, I think it'd be more interesting if you could get out, but there's no. I'm worried that'd be too confusing. I was about to say, what if you kill the enemy and there's an optional path that opens up because of that? But then, what if the player thinks that is the path? Because they're like, oh, well, I'm not going to just like jump down this big freaking chasm. Yeah, so let's keep it simple. Spatial, so this is going to be our enemy zone. Gonna have a death net, and we're gonna copy basically all of the logic from the other enemy zone. In fact, we could literally just copy this whole thing and just like swap out the enemy with the death net. And now we have like the ability to animate this thing. Yeah, so this is just going to be, instead of a crawly, this guy. And then also, hopefully, okay, good. And if enemies is empty, we spawn without enemies, and this guy will not respawn then. Okay, and then we're going to have all of that to say, there's then going to be a gigantic clusterfuck in here. More subtraction action. Let's do a CSG box. And this will be where the enemy zone actually ends. In fact, my new power, get the enemy zone, put it into here. And this area is also not big enough for the two of us. Oh wait, hang on. We don't need bugs. There's too many bugs in the game as it is. Okay. Put this where it should be, where it ought to be, where it must be. Wonderful. And then the doorway, which for now will just match this. Well, there we are. Okay. I think now, speeder. Oh wait, no, the whole thing I need to do. There we go. Is it not? Hang on. What is this? Did I not put collisions on this thing? Oh, I didn't. That makes sense. Okay. So right now, there's just going to be a bunch of guys in here. Where are they? Why was this one not a child of the other one? Why were these not children of the enemy zone? Oh, because I didn't put them as them. Oh well. Okay, but this area is just going to be a massive clusterfuck of guys. So that way the player is just kind of reminded of things that they need to do. Oh, I just realized it's very likely the player will not be reminded of things to do. Well, they're put in a room where there's literally nothing they can do except kill all the enemies. I assume they'll figure out what they have to do to like make the enemies stop hitting them. But okay, I kind of want to do from the top, but nah, that'd be a waste of time. Oh, why are you out here, buddy? Why is he out here? Did I do this wrong? Oh, I did this wrong. This needs to be in enemy zone 2. What is this door, actually? Hang on. Oh, that's the little spinning thing to indicate that time has slowed. You know, I just realized there's not a single, like, chaotically moving platform. Like, there's not a single time where you actually have to jump on, like, a thing that's moving. Why are you guys still just, like... Why are you... Oh... Because they're children of each other. He's a mere child. There we go. The poor children. Let's try this again. Oh. Just barely. Okay. By the lick of a split. Why is there... Oh, that's the event or whatever. Are you guys okay? They're not really functioning correctly. Okay, and thankfully, the code that I wrote before still works. Okay. So this is good. This is great. And we should probably have it so that enemies die when they fall, like, below a certain threshold. Do they have that, actually? Like, if I go to enemies... origin.y... Let's go to like enemy body. Yeah, we should have that as like a thing. Let's just do like function like check position, and then like if global transform dot origin dot y less than zero, like less than like negative 500 or something, we'll just die. And that'll just be like for everything like check position. And for now, we just need it for the crawlies, so that'll be okay. Frame rate is not recovered. I think it thinks that it's like not focused. No. Oh wait, and I just realized none of these enemies, or all of these enemies are going to respawn. So I guess I should make it, maybe I should make it so that most of them don't respawn, but some of them do. So that way, like, there's a little bit of challenge every time the player comes back. I'll do that. You know, there'll be, actually, no. There should be a speeder. So these guys will not respawn, but this guy will respawn. Ooh, mysterious, isn't it? And this guy, he's going to drop a coat because he's going to have, like, 75 health and a faster speed. Nah, I guess that's fine for now. Thankfully, when the game starts up, the player has some time to like see like, oh, there's like guys around me. Wait, where's the... Oh, okay. I see the one that has the coat because he's like fancy now. Infighting is such a fun mechanic to have because it just makes these fights so chaotic. Oh wait, did he drop the coat? I think he did. But I think it, no, I don't think he did. Also, I don't see where, oh no, I do see where. Wait, why did this one have the material, but this one dropped the coat? Well, I won't look a gift horse in the face too hard. No, but I will mark it down as like a bug. Okay, so that's our fancy new coat style. Enemy without a coat was the one who dropped it. And also, speeders tend to forget about the player, which I think is because they have such a large range of awareness that the player doesn't, like when they start infighting, they basically kill the enemy and then they just like are like, oh, okay, I'm good. Like, they don't get re-aggroed until the player like walks into their awareness again. But they like have such a huge range that they're all like they always know where the player is. Because they're designed for like down in the canyon when the player like steps out in the wrong like way. One of the guys notices and like charges at them from 100 miles away. They're like the size of cars. They're crazy. But okay. Oh yeah, let's also... No, I don't need to check that, like, freaking saving works. I know that saving works. Like, respawning should not be a thing that has, like, changed at any, like, point in recent history. I think that's also, like, one of the best cases against refactoring, is the fact that, like, it used to be basically any time I brought a feature back that I hadn't used in, like, more than a week, there was some bug with it. Like, these enemy groups I know have, like, had multiple bugs, because I, like, come back to doing enemies again, and then it's like, oh, wait, I gotta fix it now. But I haven't done some sort of big refactor in a while, so it actually, like, works reasonably well. But okay. We need to breed foxes, though. That's enough game dev for the moment. Well, actually, do we need to breed foxes? Have I achievement hunted them out of extinction to extinction? No. Why can't I get that one? Buy again. Yes. There we go. That's the one we needed. See, all I needed to do was fork over a little more money. And it was cute that I thought that, like, buy again meant buy another one. No, it means kick the one that you just got out to the curb and look for a different one, because you want one that, like, is a particular color. But okay, now I think we're gonna win. All right, a big old combat arena. So we got a big old combat arena. So what do we do now? I think what I want to do is have 11 and a big old combat arena. Or, I think for part 4 we do that, but for part 3 we do something a little less involved. Maybe just a big old fashioned, like, jump to another point. Like, we just do, like, have a funny adventure down this way. And we could have, like, a cool vista as well of, like, mysterious things out in the distance. Actually, speaking of, where are we? Oh, we're getting pretty close to, like, the rocks. Well, we could have some mysterious structures out in the distance here. Hang on, I'm going to move this a little bit, so that way it's, like, actually in my face. I've, like, hunched forward. But all right. And then we're going to go down. Is there actually anything that I would even need to do? Maybe I just need some sort of, like, fucked up thing. Oh yeah, I got an achievement for foxes. Well, isn't that lovely? Well, time to, like, delete the foxes. Hang on. I guess let's just fuse them together. We don't want good money to go to waste. I paid good money. Oh, wait. Computer's deadlocking. Computer's deadlocking. I've overloaded it. Hang on. The foxes are too powerful. The foxes are resisting. This is for your own good, foxes. You'll be much more productive once you're all fused together. You will. You'll be much more powerful than ever before. They were fighting for their individuality there. But okay, let's try this again. Try again. Again. There we go. Well, is that a new one? It seems like it's not a new one. But okay, our animals are like resisting the breeding program, which is kind of fucked up that they would do that. I don't know what that's about. What if we just had like a weird thing here that's not even really like related to the rest of the platforming? It's just like a slope that goes down. Because yeah, I just want to go down and then do some combat down here and then come back up. Yeah, because we'd have a combat arena, and I don't think we need that anymore. Because yeah, I'd like to like crawl out of a hole and then just like come out here, and then you hit the button, and it's like, okay, cool, we looped around. And so what I want for this area, it's going to be a big combat arena. I guess it'd actually almost be like, I know what I want. CSG cylinder. It's going to be a cylinder like this one that's nearly as large. In fact, maybe even the same size. Because I imagine these are like the necropolises that I was talking about way back when. Where like they have the graves. And now, this one will be filled with enemies that you have to get to by jumping up into the what have yous. Jumping up with the platform 11 stuff. Or what is this, 4? No, I guess it is 11. Okay, so no, we don't need that. We need this. There we go. Then we have a box. I think this area is going to wind up being much more like climactic than the other room. Because this one feels, yeah, because this one just does like 3 things and then you drop back down and come around this way. Where this one, it's like a whole like assortment of things and you have to like fight enemies. A beautiful mixture of combat and platforming and time manipulation in like the greatest climax in video game history. Some are saying it is. But okay, for this area, we're gonna have a big old, I guess we just duplicate this in enemy zone actually. And we just have a billion lights. Yeah, I think what I envision for this area is like a complete and total clusterfuck of like unrivaled proportions with like 5 to 10 deathmatch shooting you at any point. You have to use the fans to get up to enemies to hit them. Maybe I just introduced the gunners just for the fuck of it, and I'm like, fuck you. There's gunners now. There's entirely new enemies in this area now. No, I think I'll introduce the gunners. Nah, I should save some surprises. I mean, I guess I could just add more enemies to the game after the demo. Scope creep more. But okay. Oh yeah, and you can see how gigantic their areas of activation are. Yeah, that's why they're so like these crawlies, or no, the speeders. So like this speeder, this whole capsule is its area of awareness. So that's why it was like in the corner. Hmm. But okay, did we complete the llama? Got the last thing there. No, why did it tell me that I completed the llamas then? Okay, hang on. We need to fuse more creatures together. Make it... Oh, why is it so resistant to specifically this? Like, why is it freezing here? Hang on. Oh, it's something to do with all of the UI. Hang on. I'm going to restart the game. Well... Yeah, might as well. It's our stream enrichment. How am I gonna not have it? That'd be so fucked up. I think it's maybe because it's on the external drive, so it's like competing with the recording. Yeah, it's all fucked up right now. You can see it like noticeably freezing. No, we need the new one. No, that's not a new one. I can tell that it's not a new one. Why does it keep saying new encyclopedia entry? Ah, well. We'll let the creatures roam free for now. Because what I need to do is I need to figure out what I'm actually going to do for this area. I want the things I've had before where I have platforms. So let's do that. Let's do like let's put this in here and let's do like CSG cylinders. Okay, also this is going to need like 80 because this is going to be much larger as well. Hopefully these don't fiddle with too much stuff. I'll just move it down a little bit. And then all of these will have like keyframe that, keyframe this, then all of them, duplicate key, insert key, Insert key. What the fuck did I just do? Hang on. Okay. So now it also does the relaxation chamber stuff. Though actually, let's make it so that this light is a bit brighter. So that way it draws the player's eyes to this. Kind of. Did I not do... Oh, wait, no. I did that wrong. This is the light that I want, I think. There we are. There we go. Okay, I did unlock all of the alpaca colors. Wait, is white not like one of the normal colors? Weird. But okay, so now we're done with the dog. So let's I don't know, let's go back to fascism. I've been saying this. Many people have been saying this. Let's return to fascism. Oh, I see. I have to move my things, though. Basically, these facilities have to be moved every time. Kind of annoying. Let's move our little... Oh, wait, no. The bees were supposed to be in the center. Oh, well. I don't care. Great. We got our stuff. We got our little guys. They're all happy. They're all having a great time. What I need now is to figure out the true plan. Which is, I think, to have some, like, fields or... We get this thing. Let's just copy this test, actually, and just copy and paste that in here. I just realized I can just do that. Because, like, we can have enemies, like, on top of these things. So I'm imagining, like, 5 guys. Burgers. And then also death gnats at the top of these things. As soon as it remembers that collisions exist and that they work. How large is the awareness here? Yeah, that's fine. They'll be a little aware of the player even though they're not technically in the area, but that's okay. But okay, and we'll do a unique curve here. And I think I can honestly just keep that as it is. Because what I think I'm going to do... Oh, I can have this panel go like... So have this button be unique. And then this goes like over here. And the wire is like over here. And you can see our power. How does this thing look? Okay, so it pops out this way. Let's have it pop out the other way. That way it'll be reasonably clear what's going to happen. Perfect. But okay, and I might actually remove the speeders from this area. Just have 3 crawlies. So this one respawns. This one does not respawn. And I think he's going to have high quality coats. High quality fashionable coats. I mean, I did design these guys so that they don't attack, right? Or they have velocity 0? No, I did not. They should, though. And then I'm trying to figure out, what do I want for the other area? I think we're going to have one of these, but it's not even going to have the wire and stuff. It's just going to have like a falling platform to get to it or something. And we'll switch so that it remembers who it is. I wonder if I bet the player can get up to here. And yeah, I'm thinking the regulation fields are probably not going to be that important at this stage of the game, because I don't really know how I'd also use them without it just being annoying, because you just have to shoot the gun again. But okay. Now we have a very powerful group of enemies that the player has to deal with. And for now, all we have to do is just kind of jump into here. In fact, what if we just have that as the thing? Like, what if it's just come down into here? I think the issue is, yeah, that's going to be the problem. Like, being able to, like, activate a thing without dying. So let's have those go a little slower then. Or at least this one in particular. This should be, like, yeah, 2's probably fine. Wait. The issue is these projectiles do not go far enough. What if I just make them go farther? Orb projectile. So I think... What is their time to live? Active time? I think this is going to be like double. Golly, these guys like really get up to speed. Oh, they're shooting down the platforms. That's crazy. Why are you over there? You should have been over here. I'm assuming it's just a bug with, like, something? Hopefully. It would be a shame if I accidentally, like, soft-locked the game because the enemies just spawn in a different position. There we go. Also, for some reason, the frame rate just, like, boosted itself. Like 20-fold. Is that guy still alive? Oh, he is alive. It's just that... Or no, he's dead, but... So we need... I'd say an interesting thing would be if you had to stand here to get a platform going, and then you had to go over here and hit a fan. Okay, let's do that. We will basically just copy another one of these. Okay, so I think the door is fine where it is. Well, where does this guy come? Yeah, no, I think what I want there. Like that. There we go, good enough. And then this. Okay, and then once you go there, you're going to need a fan. And I'm trying to figure out, what do I want to do with the fan? I think it'll just be a plain old fan. It'll just do like 25. Oh, I see. The enemies have returned. I still don't understand how the wrong enemy spawns the coat. Like, that's not even a thing that, like, is designed to happen in the game. Like, oh, not quite angled correctly. Let's angle it, yeah, a bit more like that. Oh, wait, the fact that everything's red means that the red shift is very hard to see. Let's do 30 here. I guess let's just test to make sure that this, like, works. Hmm. I think if I made this symmetrical, it would look a lot better. Yeah, I think introducing the concept of the, like, combat arenas a few times is good for this area, where it's like, okay, now you have to actually, like, hit all of the guys. You know what? I think that was actually fun. I think it, like, reasonably built up the complexity. And, like, now it's like a little area. And then what we're gonna do is, I don't know exactly, I guess just, like, go up. Do a little bit more platforming. Something pretty easy, probably. And also I'm thinking, copy one of these. Spin it around. Make a wall divider, so that way I know for a fact that the player is not meant to get between these two. Man, the real hard part of this is definitely going to be like the actual like modeling of it. Not even like the details, but just like the design of like the physical space. And also, especially if the playtests reveal that people need more information of like how things work. Oh, yeah, let's just have it go up like this for now. Nothing fancy. Just come up to here, get up to here. Maybe we'll have some neat little area here for the player to just like look around at. Since they've been doing a lot of platforming, they might want some like of that, some of that adventure game stuff. Okay, let's just see if the game is actually like implementable. Like the player can the player get from one place to another now? Good. Oh. Okay, so we'll definitely need some work on the actual like overall geometry, but oh yeah. The whole point of the thing is that you open the door and then you have the door open. And then it's like, cool. And then everything goes dark. Spooky. And then we need to figure out a way of actually like getting out of here that is enabled by this. Oh. I thought the field was blocking me. It's just that like a lip on the geometry. Oh. Yeah. I need to figure out why bumping into those things like breaks them. You know, I think I just need, like, in the center of the screen, a little, like, time indicator. Hmm. Ah, well. For now, I guess I should keep working, though, because I've only done like 3 hours of work. Well, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where this just feels like a good stopping point. Dot M basic layout up to capacitor. That feels good. And then what I'm really going to do is, so a nonlinear area for the level. I keep saying I want this. Nah, for something else. I should put that into features or something, though, like level gimmicks. A level that changes shape, and you go into the interior mechanism. But that's going to not be this one. Handful of challenges. Then a final area will be in the inner workings, so... Well, I mean, I guess I could do that. Introduce collapsing bridges. Use the regulation fields more as an obstacle. Introduce enemies. And then also we need here features, time stuff, like more explicit indication. Oh wait, do we have this? Track NPCs across chunks? I mean, we kind of have these. Sort of. We just have a bunch of bugs with them. Oh, and that's done. What is this? Oh, yeah. The actual language for the NPCs. But okay, I even forgot what I was doing. Time stop, make a little UI indicator. We need the UI indicators in general. Updates to do. But okay, that seems like a good stopping point to me. So I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. Push all of this. And then I will be back tomorrow for more of this. And I guess what I need to start doing as well, get it ready for playtesting, like put actual walls and basic visuals. So prepare for playtesting. Make some actual walls. Other basic visuals. Fix glaring bugs. Can I make hot reloading? I really want that. But the most important thing right now is the final challenge once the capacitor is removed. Oh, wait. We don't need that. We're just going to complete this. So finalize mechanics. I think we got them. Well, we don't have the actual, like... Well, I'm not going to finalize them this week. Because we got the things. We got it all. Maybe what I want also is some sort of crazy spinning things, but I guess we don't need those because we got other things that are fun. Okay. Save that. let's close this before I start editing more things or tweaking more things. Push this again. Okay, there we go. Bit of a short stream today, but it was quite productive, I think. So I'm happy with that. All right, see you later.